Welcome to the podcast for truth. Like I said before in my first video, if you do not know what the podcast for truth is, that is casting the word of truth. Truth as in consciousness without a filter. Podcast meaning casting words through a vehicle, which is YouTube. Now, on my podcast or my channel, all I want to do is be authentic, share truth, and have no filter. I am going to flow through this vehicle that you see here, this ego, and I'm going to teach you certain topics regarding consciousness. In this case, for example, we're going to dive deep into my course, How to Turn Work into Play. This whole course is divided into 3 modules: the ego, the mind, and the soul. 6 sections: inhale, exhale, observe, feel the nudge to create, and 9 topics, which the first 5 are questions: why, what, when, where, how. Then we dive into the formula, the method, the canvas, which is an example that I will use to explain the whole course, and then the most important aspect and topic of the whole course: surrender. So, in this first video, we're going to be talking about the first section of the first module, the unconscious ego. Inhale. Inhale the unconscious ego. So the first topic, why? Why do we inhale? Well, we breathe, right? That's how our life started. Ever since you were a child, a newborn into this world, a baby, you were inhaled into this life. Obviously, you're going to die, but we're going to talk about that in exhale, which is. But for now, why do we inhale? We inhale to stay alive. We inhale to stay in the present moment. We inhale to come back to ourselves, to go inside, to understand our mind. Now, what does this have to do with the unconscious ego? First, let's break it down. What is the ego? See, there's so many different terms about the ego going around the internet, but we want to be specific, simple, and straight to the point. The ego is this: me. My name is Santiago. This body that you're seeing, that is the ego. The body through which you can basically move around consciousness, move around life, and deliver consciousness, which is the energy of consciousness. That is your ego. Now, if that's too difficult to understand, we can also say the body as in literally the flesh, your carnal desires, or food, sex, connection, hunger. All the primal desires come from the ego, from the body itself. Your name is also your ego. Because if you think about it, if I were to ask you right now, who are you? What would you tell me? Definitely the first thing that would pop into your mind is your name. Then you probably think about your car, your house, your possessions. Now, if I were to tell you that you are not your name or your possessions, who are you? Then you would start to drive into your personality. But what is your personality? The personality is so fluctuating, which is why the ego is never something that you are. It truly is a vehicle that, like any car, can change its parts and move around. So the ego, once again, is your body, your name, or the vehicle for consciousness. Now, the unconscious ego. What is the unconscious ego? Let's think about unconsciousness for a second here. What is unconsciousness? Unconsciousness is when you're not aware of the why, but you know all about the how. That means you don't know why you're doing things, but you do know how you're doing things. It's like you're moving around the world, doing stuff, making money, trying to fulfill, paying your bills, doing, but never actually understanding why you're doing it. Because maybe you haven't enough to understand your deeper why, to understand your purpose, your reason. See, turning work into play is simple, but not easy, which is basically the essence of this whole course. This is going to be 3 modules, 6 sections, 9 topics of pure simplicity, but it's not going to be easy. I don't want you to confuse it. Simple is something that can be explained in simple terms, but it's never easy because the universe is a hologram. That means that you can summarize the universe into 3 pieces, ego, mind, and soul, but that doesn't make it easier to navigate. It just makes it simple to understand. And then to experience, you gotta truly learn the game to turn it into play instead of work. Because if you think about work, it's kind of negative. Like we think about work as in, I gotta go to work. But if you think about play, you're like a child looking around the possibilities and you're playing, you're creating. That is the ultimate essence. So the unconscious ego is basically knowing the how, not knowing the why of your body, your name, or your vehicle for consciousness. So you know how it works, but you don't know why it works that way. So in this section of the course, the unconscious ego, inhale, we're going to learn all about the unconscious ego. So then, what is the unconscious ego? Like I said, it's basically you moving around this world, this 3D world, this material world, this life, knowing a bunch of things, intellectualizing your existence, but never truly understanding why you're here, why your existence is. Why, never knowing why. So, what is the unconscious ego? You, not knowing why you're here. That is the unconscious ego. So, what does it mean to inhale? Inhale means to bring in, to inspire, to come in, then go out. We're going to get to the exhale later, but to come in. When I say inhale, there's 3 ways which I want you to focus on the inhale. You got your body, which is the literal that you can feel in your nose, your chest, and your stomach. If you think about it, when you focus on your breath, like any mindfulness meditation, you gotta think about breathing. So you focus on your nose. That's the most easy way of understanding. But if then you focus on your chest, when you inhale, your chest goes up and down. Then if you focus on your stomach, when you're truly inhaled the right way, you will inhale and your stomach will go up and down. That being said, when you're focusing on the inhale in your body, you're only focusing on the outside. So you'll perceive an inhalation through your nose, through your chest, or through your stomach. But let's dive a little bit deeper and let's use the 3 modules. Mind. For mind, when we say inhale, what do we mean? See, the mind is a complex thing because most of the people around the world nowadays think that the mind is in here, in the brain somewhere, but it's not true. A lot of Ayurveda and Indians and traditions and history and so many different discoveries had said that the mind is a body. It's an auric body. It's an aura around your body. But where does this aura emanate from? Because an aura is basically a wave of energy that comes from a source. So where's the source? Here, in your heart. Your heart is your mind. So when we talk about the ego, the mind, and the soul, we're talking about the stomach, the heart, and the head. We'll get to the head later. But the mind, your heart, that is your mind. Therefore, when we say inhale, and we're talking about the mind, what do we mean? If you focus on your mind and your thoughts that come from your heart, put your hands on your heart and try to focus on your thoughts. You'll get 3 different ways of understanding an inhale. There's going to be a moment where your thoughts stop moving. It's like there's a pause, like something is breaking and connecting. There's going to be a final thought, if you will. That space, that is an inhale. It's a moment where your thoughts have been broken to create a new pattern of thoughts. Now, if you're not able to listen to your thought, then that just means that you need to meditate a little bit more. But if you're in this course and you're still watching this video, then I assume that you can connect with your thoughts. Therefore, you understand when a thought has ended and there has been a pause, an inhale. If you focus on those moments, you'll see the change, the inhale. Now, finally, the soul. When we talk about the soul, we're talking about the head in the body. But the soul is the head is connected to the outside. Because when we said that the mind is a aura, an auric body, and it has a source, the source being your heart, the same happens with the soul. The soul is also an auric body. But here comes the understanding of something much more profound. Your true soul is your true nature. And your true nature is both your body, your mind, and your soul. But this soul is the source of the soul. And the soul is your life. Everything in your life is your soul, being reflected through your mind and your body. Through this body, you are connecting to that life, to that outside world, to those people, to everything around you. But everything around you is your soul. And the source is in your head, your crown chakra. This part of here comes out and creates your life. Therefore, if we talk about inhale in the soul, and the soul being your life, you'll focus on specifically those moments where you're in a period of restoration. You've done productive work, you've been creating, you've been moving, but then all of a sudden, it's like life stops you and something happens where you feel tired, you feel frustrated, you feel angry, you feel like the world is coming on top of you and you're dying and you have to watch Netflix for 3,000 hours. Or if you're a productive guy, you probably journal, and if you're more productive than that, you probably are making a lot of money, but thinking that that is actually keeping you moving forward. When in reality, you're in a restoration period. That means you're supposed to go inside. Inhale. Instead of focusing on your soul outside, you should be focusing on your soul inside, in you, inhaling. See? So, back again, let's make it simple. Ego, mind, and soul. 3 levels. Inhale. What is the inhale? In the body, it's focusing on your nose, the breath coming in through your nose. Then focusing on your chest, the breath going in through your chest. Then focusing on your stomach, the breath going in through your stomach. That's for the ego. 3 steps. That is nose, chest, stomach. Now, for the second part, the mind, the heart. We're thinking about thoughts. So, close your eyes, focus on your thoughts, grab a thought right there, and then just follow it along until you find a moment where there is a pause, a finish, an end, and there's a new beginning. That breaking point, that's an inhale. Just close your eyes. Now, start focusing on your thoughts. Grab that thought right there. Now, follow it along. Now, you'll see that right there, there's a stop. That is your inhale in the mind. Did you catch it? I hope you did, because if not, I'm going to seem crazy by what I just did. But then, the soul. Finally, you're not going to be able to watch an inhale in the soul through this video, because you're currently, or unless you are in the inhale period in your life right now, and you're watching this because you're basically inhaling, or you're contracting, or you're going inside. So you need to connect with yourself, and you're grabbing your phone and watching through YouTube, or you're just trying to find the next step to take, so you're watching courses. This course is for free. So probably you're trying to get as much information as you can to move to the next step. If you are in that season of your life, then... So there was a cut because there's been a problem and my camera shut off for a bit. But like I was saying, if you were in a period of restoration in your life right now, then probably this is your inhale in the soul. But if you're not, and you're currently in a moment in your life where you're moving around, you're exhaling, you're doing things, you're moving around, you're doing, then you won't be able to catch it until you feel like you are left alone and you're afraid. You're basically in the dark. You don't know what's going to happen next. You feel frustrated. You don't understand what is happening and you're afraid. That is the inhale in your soul. Being said, that you have to find those moments in your life. That is an inhale in your soul. Now, when do we inhale? And this is a funny question. Because if you think about it, you're inhaling right now. You're inhaling right now. You're inhaling right now. You're inhaling all the time. That is the source of life. breathing is what keeps you alive. One could say that the only source of living, of life, is your breath. The only way of knowing that you're alive is your breath. Therefore, you're always inhaling. But for this course, when do we inhale? You inhale right now. I want you to inhale. Take a breath with me. Take a deep breath. Go in through your nose. Deep, 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 deep. There. Exhale. That is when you have just restarted, restarted your whole entire life. But you're not going to be able to understand that until we get to the next sections of the course. Because an inhale is a restart. It's a vantage point. It's a moment of reaching inside to then look outside from a new vantage point. Now that might seem spiritual, woo-woo, and airy-fairy, but I want to make something clear. In this course, probably the whole course will sound spiritual, woo-woo, and airy-fairy for you, but that's just because it's a concept instead of an experience yet. But for that, I want to teach you the difference between concept and experience. For that, I'm going to use Leo Gures from actualized.org, best example. I take this from him because it was the best way I could have understand what's the difference between a concept and an experience, and what led me to actually embracing spiritual woo-woo and airy-fairy things in my life to actually expand. Because a concept is something that is outside of your perception, outside of your personal experience, something that you've never actually experienced or lived through, so therefore you think it's false, you think it's woo-woo, or you think it's spiritual. But in reality, we're all living a spiritual woo-woo airy-fairy life. Because if you go around the block in your house and you start speaking to someone, they're going to tell you a story of their life. And the story of their life is going to be airy-fairy, spiritual, and woo-woo to you, because sometimes you haven't experienced what they have. That meaning that you haven't gone through what they have gone through, so for you it's just a concept. Now, what is a concept? A concept is an idea outside of your realm of perception. Therefore, all of this is probably going to be a concept for you until we start getting to the deeper levels of the mind and the soul in the upcoming sections, which is the more practical side. And even in the 9 topics, we'll reach the formula, the method, and the canvas, and I'll start being more practical so you can actually turn this into an experience. But a concept is an idea. And I'm going to use this example right now. Take my hand, for example. This, me touching my hand, you looking at my hand, seeing this is an experience because you're actually having an experience. You're watching it. But if I put my hand behind my back and I start thinking about my hand being behind my back, then that's just a concept because it's an idea outside of my realm of experience, outside of my perception. I cannot actually see. I can feel, I can know, but I don't see it. Therefore, it's just a concept. So, concept, experience. Watching it, experience. Thinking about it, concept. This whole course is full of concepts and experiences, so you can merge both contemplation and experimentation, so you can turn your reality into a creative process where you use the concept that I teach you and the experiences that you're having along the course and the concepts, so you can become the creator. Meaning you take my concepts, your experiences, you merge them both, and you start playing with your life. Instead of working hard to succeed, working hard to attract women, working hard to become attractive, working hard for this, for that, you'll start playing. You'll start asking the right questions at the right time to get the right result. That's it. Now, let's get back into this. The concept and the experience. Where do we inhale? Where do we inhale? Start focusing on your breath more often than not. If you start focusing on your breath more often than not, at all times, everywhere, then you'll start seeing how your life has this constant pattern to it. You inhale, you exhale. You inhale, then you sigh. As constantly as you can, Focus on the inhale and the exhale and observe what happens around you. Because if you start focusing on your breath as you live your life will start changing forever because you'll focus on the patterns that life has to bring you experiences, reflections, contemplations, concepts, experiences. You'll realize that your whole life is a game, is a story that you've been telling yourself that you're stuck in so that you can start actually becoming the creator and creating it. Therefore, you have to go through the tunnel to find the light. That being said, where do we inhale? Everywhere. Every time you can, focus. But focus. Not focus here, don't focus there. Focus. I'm not telling you about focusing on your body and the breath in your body and your nose like a mindful meditation coach or guru. No, I'm telling you, focus. Try to see where you can get a hold of your respiration, of your inhalation, of your exhalation. If you start focusing on your breath everywhere you go, anywhere, anytime, then you'll change your life forever. Now let's get to the how. How do we inhale? Is there even the right way to inhale? The right way? Nowadays, everybody wants the right way. They want the how. They want the methods. They want a quick dopamine hit so they can start moving along their journey. I'm not going to be here to give you the how. I'm actually extracting the how from you, helping you build on that how, and then creating together a process for which you can create the life you desire and turn it into play. That being said, the how is focus on your breath. And do it with me right now. Deep in and throw out. Do that as often as you can. And I'm going to give you a pattern. Throughout the day, as soon as you wake up, 3 hours after you wake up, put a timer around 9 a.m. Watch your breath at that moment. Just focus in it. Just inhale, exhale. That's it. Focus in on it. Focusing. That's all you do. After 9 a.m., at 12 p.m., 3 hours later, focus again. Just focus. Try to do the best you can. Just inhale. No matter what you're doing, where you are, just inhale. After that, 12 p.m., 3 p.m., 3 hours after. Once again, focus on your breath. Inhale, exhale. There's nothing you got to do. Just do it. That's all. And focus. 3 hours, 3 times a day. That's it. And you'll see how things start merging in your life so you can start seeing the patterns moving around. So if you want the how, every 3 hours, as soon as you wake up, inhale, exhale, and start observing what happens without attachment, without trying something, without expecting. Just do it and see what happens. Experiment with it. 9 a.m., 12 p.m., 3 p.m. That's all you gotta do. If you want to keep going, you can keep going. Now the formula. How do we breathe the right way? And I'm gonna do it with you once again. Just and this might seem repeating for you, but it's truly not. Because how many times a day do you actually focus on your breath? How many times do you actually inspire to create? How many times do you actually go inside instead of looking for the answers outside? The formula is focus more in the inside, in the incoming, in the inhalation, in the inspiration, than the exhalation, the expiration, and the outside world. The formula is just start inhaling more. The method. What is a method? A method is a structured way in which we can put steps to follow along. So, like I said before, 9 a.m., 12 p.m., 3 p.m. That's the formula. But if you want a method, try to do this as often as you can. The method is inhaling. It cannot get any more simple than that. But I know that your mind is going all over the place. So let me help you a little bit more. When you inhale, I want you to focus on something that you truly desire. Say, for example, that you're trying to build a business, or you're trying to attract the perfect partner, or you're trying to build your body. Whatever you're trying to achieve in your life, whatever you deem successful, focus on that goal in mind. As you inhale, focus on the goal that you have for your life, and you'll soon see how things start moving around, putting you in that direction. you'll get intuitive hits from your gut, from your stomach, to move you in that direction. So once again, the method is inhale and focus on your goal in this current stage of your life. Inhale, focus. Inhale, focus. Inhale, focus. That's it. Now let's dive into the canvas. Since this is the first time I'm explaining this, I'm going to tell you what the canvas is and how it's the most easy, simple, and straight to the point way of understanding reality. For that, let me grab my marker. Think about the canvas. What is a canvas? A canvas is basically this, a place where you can create art or where you can paint a picture. Now, your life is basically one of three things. The canvas itself, the place where you paint, the painter painting the canvas, that's a paintbrush, the painter painting the canvas, okay, the paintbrush itself, that's one of the three ways in which you're living your life right now. Through the canvas, you're either the canvas and, oh yeah, I forgot about this. The painter is painting a picture, right? But what is the picture? The picture is himself. Okay? So the painter is using a paintbrush to paint a picture of himself in this canvas. That being said, it's like I were to be painting a picture of this face of me. I could literally make the hair look crazy. I could crook the nose. I could make the mouth perfect. I could change everything. That's basically your life. You are a painter painting a picture of yourself on a canvas. That might seem difficult to understand. But if you think about it, when you're living your life, there's one of three ways in which you're living your life. You have never focused on your mind and your thoughts, and therefore you're thinking about the outside world as I have to be successful, I have to achieve, I have to work. Or you have focused on your thoughts, on your mind, and you have gone inside, closed your eyes, and realized there's a whole world inside of you. If you have, then you're probably thinking about creating a picture. You're actually trying to paint something. You don't know what yet, but you're trying to paint something. If you've gone even further and you have understood the nature of reality and understood that the universe is a hologram which reflects back what your unconscious mind and your subconscious mind are doing behind the scenes, then you're actually the canvas, because you are the observer of your life. That being said, think about it. When you're watching this video right now, who is watching the video? Are your eyes watching this video? Are you your eyes? No, you're not, right? There is someone behind your eyes watching through your eyes. That's the creator, the observer, or the canvas. So, there's three ways in which you're living your life. Being the observer, being the mind, or being the ego. The soul, the mind, or the ego. You're either thinking about how can I create the right picture. You're actually not creating anything by just focusing on you, or you're allowing your hand to move around and create whatever you can as a picture. Because the canvas is the best way to explain how you can let life paint a picture of you through you. The perfect life is never going to be created by you. It's going to be created through you. Because since we said the universe is a hologram, that being said, you are creating whatever you see outside of you, but whatever is outside of you is also creating you, because the mirror is reflecting back to you something, and you're observing that something, and that something is trying to tell you something. That experience is bringing you a lesson so that you can apply it to move along. So the most simple way of explaining this is, a canvas is you painting a picture of yourself. And you can be the canvas by observing the hand move and just watching what can be created. the painter and trying to paint the best picture possible, or the paintbrush. You're not even doing anything. You're just being used to paint. Once again, paintbrush, painter, or canvas. You either are creating through allowing creation to come through you, you are trying to create the best picture, or you're being used to create something that you've never understood what was. So, that's the canvas. What is surrender? And why is it the most important topic in the whole course, in the whole section? Because surrender is finally how you become the observer. For becoming the observer right now is too far-fetched. It's something that is probably going to be difficult for you to become right now. Because I could tell you, you are not your body, you are not your mind, you are not even your life. Then who are you? That's going to unlock so many different limiting beliefs, paradigms that you have, and even dogmas that you've adopted. So I won't tell you that you are the creator. Instead, I will tell you that you should ask yourself, what would happen if I allowed myself to flow unconsciously and create whatever has to be created? Either way, you have been doing that all the time. Because why are you trying to make money? Why are you trying to pay the bills? Why are you trying to attract your partner? Why are you doing the things that you're doing? Do you even know why? Or are you doing it because that's what's trendy? That's what you have been told that you have to do. Or that's what you think you have to do. Because true life is created, not adopted. You're not someone that has to be told what to do. You are capable enough to tell yourself what to do and create. Now, I'm not telling you be a rebel and rebel against society, go live somewhere out there. No, I'm actually telling you, if you want to live with people, instead of controlling them or allowing them to control you, you interdependently co-create. Because finally, the universe is a hologram that interdependently and interconnectedly works around to create everything for you. If you can surrender to allow your life to be created, then your life becomes the playful, creative lifestyle that you truly desire to create. Finally, just surrender. Try to allow, without single judgment, attachment to the outcome, or thought of how it'll be, allow yourself to surrender to that intuitive, I should do this, I should move here, I should go there. Allow that intuitive hit to go deeper. Feel it. Feel the need. That is surrendering. And to tie it back to the main topic, inhale. When I told you that you have to focus on your breath at 9 a.m., 12 p.m., and 3 p.m., when you're focusing on your goal of the desired lifestyle that you're trying to reach, surrender. Once you have inhaled, focused, what comes next? Surrender. You are breathing, you're focusing, something is going to happen. I can bet $100 million that something is going to happen. You're going to feel something is going to happen out there, or you're even going to think something. But something's going to happen, certainly. So surrender to that happening. Surrender to that feeling to move. Surrender to that thought that is telling you, go there. Or even surrender to that person, to that situation that is happening out there. Surrender. Tying it back in. I surrender. I go with the flow. That's been the first section of the first module, the unconscious ego. Inhale. So this is the last thing I will tell you. Inhale your unconscious ego into its death. That is the point of this first section of the first module. Soon you'll realize that you're more than your body. You're more than your name, more than your possessions. You're more than you've ever even imagined. And that's the point of the whole course. Getting you to become more, embracing that more and creating through that more. It's been a pleasure. My name is Santi. This has been the course, and from here on out, I'll be watching you from afar, supporting you, guiding you, and we'll be on the same wavelength, experiencing the same lifestyle. So go ahead, subscribe to this channel if you want to. You can leave a comment about what you thought about the course. You can like it up. Do as you please. I'm not here asking you to anything. I'm not convincing you of anything. I'm flowing, surrendering to my calling of helping you for free. So I'm grateful, and I hope you have a great awakening experience.